pass the clock today? Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's New York City Council hearing for the Subcommittee on Zoning and Franchises. If you would like to testify, you must fill out a witness slip with one of the sergeant-at-arms in the back of the room, even if you signed up already online. You may also submit testimony at testimony@council.nyc.gov. At this time, please silence all electronic devices. Please silence all electronic devices, and no one may approach the dais at any time. Chair, we are ready to begin.
Good morning and welcome to our meeting of the Subcommittee on Zoning and Franchises. I'm Councilmember Farrah Lewis, Chair of the Subcommittee. This morning, I'm joined by members of the committee, Councilmember Farias, Shulman, Salam, Sanchez, as well as Councilmember Aviles and Majority Whip Hanks. Today, we are holding five hearings and voting on three proposals. The hearings will hold concern Sabrosa's application for a sidewalk cafe in Councilmember Farias's district, Secetti? No. I was just trying to check. Secetti Brooklyn's application for a sidewalk cafe. Did I say it correctly? Nycc. Brooklyn application for a sidewalk cafe in Councilmember Mealy's district. St. Francis Pep rezoning for a commercial overlay in Councilmember Lee's district. 9201 4th Avenue residential rezoning in Councilmember Santos Soto's district. And 46 Nelson Street rezoning 2 in Councilmember Aviles' district. We will then vote on the following proposals: 3759 Hamilton Avenue residential zoning in Councilmember Hanks' district, and 2 sidewalk cafe applications by Sabrosura, and Secetti. We will hold the votes after the 2 hearings on the sidewalk applications and then resume with the remaining 3 hearings. And we are also joined online by Council Members Felder and Santos Suso. This meeting is being held in a hybrid format. Members of the public who wish to testify may testify in person or via Zoom. Members of the public wishing to testify remotely may register by visiting the New York City Council website at www.council.nyc.gov/land use. To sign up, or for those of you here who wish to see for those of you here in person, please see one of the sergeant-at-arms to prepare and submit a speaker card. Members of the public may also view a live stream broadcast of this meeting at the council's website. When you are called to testify before the subcommittee, if you are joining us remotely, you will remain muted until recognized by myself to speak. When you are recognized, your microphone will be unmuted. We will limit public testimony to 2 minutes per witness. If you have additional testimony that you would like the subcommittee to consider, or if you have written testimony that you would like to submit instead of appearing in person, please email it to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. Written testimony may be submitted up to 3 days after the hearing is closed. Please indicate the LU number and project name in the subject line of your email. We request that witnesses joining us remotely remain in the meeting until excused by the chair, as council members may have questions. Lastly, for everyone attending today's meeting, this is a government proceeding and decorum must be observed at all times. Members of the public are asked not to speak during the meeting unless you are testifying. The witness table is reserved for people who are called to testify, and no video recording or photography is allowed from the witness table. Further, members of the public may not present audio or video recordings as testimony, but may submit transcripts of such recordings to the sergeant-at-arms for inclusion in the hearing record. The first hearing we will hold concerns LU 49 related to the sidewalk cafe application by Sabrosura, which is an establishment located in the Union Port neighborhood of the Bronx in Councilmember Farias' district. Applicant is seeking to place 18 tables and 60 chairs along the sidewalk by the restaurant. We will now hear from Councilmember Farias.
Good morning, and thank you, Chair Lewis and members of the committee, and to the applicant of Sabrosura for being here today. We are here to consider the sidewalk application for Sabrosura in Castle Hill in my district. As part of my review, I utilized the call-up process to take a closer look and more deliberate look at this proposal. For me, this is about more than just approving an application on paper. It's about ensuring that what's proposed actually works within the realities of the corridors throughout my district. Castle Hill Avenue is an active commercial strip with steady pedestrian traffic, nearby intersections, and a mix of small businesses and community uses. So my review focused on a few key factors: pedestrian flow and ADA accessibility, emergency access, and how the cafe footprint interacts with neighboring businesses and the public right-of-way. My office coordinated with the 43rd Precinct, the local firehouse, and Castle Hill Business Improvement District to ensure that there was alignment across stakeholders. That level of coordination is critical to making sure these setups are safe, functional, and sustainable in the long term. The Sidewalk Cafe program can be a valuable tool for supporting small businesses and activating our corridors, but only when it is implemented thoughtfully and responsibly. I'm looking forward to seeing their application today thoroughly and excited because Sabrosura is a key corridor partner. Thank you for a moment to speak on behalf of LU 49.
Thank you, Councilmember. I will now call the applicant panel for this proposal, which consists of Alejandro Wang. Council, please administer the affirmation.
Good morning. Could you please raise your right hand? State your name for the record. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in your testimony today and in response to council member questions? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. You may now begin your testimony, which is limited to 8 minutes, and I will just ask you to please restate your name and organization for the record.
My name is Alejandro Wong. My name is Alejandro Wong. I represent Sarosura Restaurant. We've been with the Sidewalk Cafe since 2010, and we, like I said, we're part of community on the Bronx. We try to help, and like I said, we are building also in the neighborhood a different kind of food and restaurant that we are in the community. Thanks.
Thank you. I now invite my colleagues to ask questions. Councilmember Farias, do you have a question?
Just a couple. Can you just walk us through how the proposed layout maintains clear and accessible pedestrian pathways, particularly during the peak hours?
During the peak hours, like I said, our restaurant is in the corner, and like the Department of Transportation, they approve already the layout on the restaurant. Like I say, being the Sidewalk Cafe being in 2010, and we haven't never any complaint regarding the Sidewalk Cafe with us.
Great. And then I did speak with the local precinct and the local firehouse who said you've been great partners, which we appreciate. In the event of any emergency or if you've seen any in the past with the restaurant, has the setup allowed for clear and immediate access for FDNY and other first responders?
Yes, we are.
Okay, and then just one last question on maintaining cleanliness. For trash management and upkeep of the cafe and the extended outdoor sidewalk cafe, what protocols do you currently have in place with the new policies that we set forward in the city?
Yes, like I said, remember, Councilman, that we are also with the beat, the new Castle beat. So they have they have their own cleaning, sanitation by the beat, and they always clean the Sidewalk Cafe and all the neighborhood over there.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Chair. I have no additional
Thank you,
questions.
Councilmember. You're now excused. Thank you so much, Mr. Wong.
Thank
We
you.
have also been joined by Councilmember Thomas Henry. You're now excused.
All right, thanks.
Thank you for coming. Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify remotely or in person regarding this proposal?
No, Chair.
If no member of the public signed up to testify, oh, sorry. For members of the public, sorry, please stand at ease. Sorry. If there are no members of the public who wish to testify regarding this application remotely, please press the raise hand button now. If you are in person, please identify yourself to one of the sergeant at arms. All right, there are no members of the public who wish to testify regarding LU 49 regarding to Sabrosura's application for a sidewalk cafe. The public hearing is now closed and items are now laid over. I will now open the second hearing, which concerns LU 50 related to the sidewalk cafe related to Chiquete, which is an establishment located in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, in Councilmember Mealy's district. The applicant is seeking to place 3 tables and 6 chairs along the sidewalk by the restaurant. Is Councilmember Mealy? All right, we now call on Councilmember Mealy with remarks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you. What is happening in our communities, things are opening up. And thank God that I saw it and made an opportunity to meet the owner. And that's what all elected officials should do before anything open up in their neighborhood. So I was honored. He came to our office, looking forward to serving with you. And I'm glad that the process is right. And to all store owners or anyone opening up a business, find out who your elected officials, your city council, senator, assembly, Congress, U.S. state senator, find out who they are. Talk to them. So I'm so glad that he gave me the opportunity. I'm going to go visit his restaurant soon. And I know the food going to be good, right? And not only did he open up in the neighborhood, he has open space for the community to come in and have meetings, bring their children. So I thank you for that community service. Servitude, everyone does not have it. And just by you opening up and realizing that it is about the community also, and to let your space be for the community, I thank you. And I approve this sidewalk cafe. It'll make it much better for the community on the sidewalk. About 6 seats. So he has to save 4 seats for me and my friends. So thank you so much. And Chair, I approve this 100%. And thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Mealy. I will now call. Yeah, you sure did. I will now call the applicant panel for this proposal, which consists of Emmanuel DeBiase. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, council, please administer the affirmation.
Could you please raise your right hand and state your name for the record?
Emanuele De Biase.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in your testimony this morning?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. You may now begin your testimony, which is limited to 8 minutes, and I will just ask you to please restate your name and business for the record.
Good morning, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Emanuele De Biase. I'm the founder and owner of Cantina Sociale Bed-Stuy, doing business as Cicchetti BK, at 185 Howard Avenue in Ocean Hill, Brooklyn. Cicchetti is a Venetian-inspired wine bar and restaurant. We opened on March 8th of this year. Our focus is on affordability, community, and cultural programming. We host 2 jazz events every night, and we are developing a queer night for the neighborhood. We are deeply embedded in the Howard Avenue corridor. We have active partnership with 3 of the 9 establishments on the avenue, and we are committed to building that community further, as I've discussed with Council Member Mealy. We're going to work with Council Member Mealy to strengthen Howard Avenue. The Sidewalk Cafe will allow us to serve our community better outdoors, extend our programming into the street, and contribute to the activation of the corridor. One thing that is very dear to me is the fact that I think that a Sidewalk Cafe really brings the establishment onto the street, and so it makes it more accessible. In a neighborhood that is already going a lot of change, I think that it's important to keep the doors open. As Councilmember Mealy As mentioned, also, we're open 5 to midnight, but the space is open from 2 to 5 p.m. free of charge for meetings of the of block associations. We've had already a clothing drive last Saturday, and we're going to have a mahjong tournament this Sunday, because that's the spirit of the space, to really keep it open. I pay rent for 24 hours, and it's a shame to only use it for 7 hours a day. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. I don't have any questions, but I invite my colleagues to ask questions. Councilwoman Mealy. All right. Seeing, you have a question? Okay.
The Marja, explain it, please. No.
It would be nice if I knew a little more. I know that a group of mothers has reached out. I advertised this on Instagram, and a group of mothers reached out to have a tournament. It's going to be this Sunday, in case anyone wants to join, 2 to 5 p.m. And then next week, there's going to be an event for children art that, again, a nonprofit is having at our space.
Awesome.
Thank you, Chair.
No problem. This applicant panel is now excused. Thank you so much for being here. Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify remotely or in person regarding this proposal?
No, Chair.
If there are no members of the public who wish to testify regarding this application remotely, please, if there are any members of the public who wish to testify regarding this application remotely, please press the raise hand button now, or if you're in person, please identify yourself to one of the sergeant at arms. Being there are no members of the public who wish to testify regarding LU 50 relating to the Nycc application for a sidewalk cafe, the public hearing is now closed and these items are now laid over. We will now proceed with the 3 votes. The first 2 votes concern the application for sidewalk cafes by Sabrosuro and Nycc, which we just heard. Both Councilmembers Farias and Mealy support these applications as filed. The third vote concerns LUs 45 and 46 regarding 3759 Hamilton Avenue rezoning proposal in Councilmember Hanks' district. Applicant is seeking to develop a mixed-use residential development with approximately 369 apartments on the north shore of Staten Island in St. George. It is anticipated approximately 111 of the apartments would be permanently affordable. The proposal involves 2 actions. The first is a zoning map amendment to change the existing residential R6 district to a residential R7-3 with a C2-4 commercial overlay. The second application is a zoning text amendment to map a mandatory inclusionary housing area. We've just been joined by council members Encarnacion. Councilmember Hanks supports the application. We recognize Councilmember Majority Whip Hanks for a statement now.
Good morning, and thank you, Chair. It is a new day in the North Shore of Staten Island, and we have a responsibility to build for the future. That means being intentional about the kind of development we approve and making sure that it creates real opportunity for people who call Staten Island home. Because this is not about one building, it's about the future of this borough and where our children are going to live. It's about whether young people are able to grow up in the neighborhood that they were born in and remain on Staten Island. For too long, we've watched too many young people, working families get priced out or pushed out to look elsewhere for opportunity. Meanwhile, places like Bayonne and Hoboken are basically cleaning our clock. They are building, they are attracting investment, they are giving people options, and Staten Island has to be part of that conversation as well. But we have to do it in a way that works for our communities and for the people who are already here. This is why this project matters. We are not only talking about workforce ability, but we are talking about workforce home ownership. That is a major difference, and this is one of the most important outcomes of this process. My office has pushed directly for the inclusion of affordable home ownership component because Staten Island families deserve more than just an opportunity to rent. They deserve an opportunity to own, to build equity, and to put down long-term roots in a community in which they love. This proposal begins to create a pathway for the middle-income families right here in St. George. It includes permanently affordable housing, public accessible open space, 7,000 square feet of community facility space, and that community facility space is important because it creates opportunity to bring real programming services, especially in areas of youth development, arts, education, and STEM. The applicant is also committed to $100,000 in investment in a local organization distributed over 4 years. And that kind of sustained support matters because development should not just change the physical landscape, it should strengthen the neighborhood around it. Because this cannot be the last project, we must always demand more. It has to be the first of many developments and where we insist on affordability, on homeownership, on community space, and on real investment in the people who are already here. This is how we build stronger communities. This is how we build the North Shore of Staten Island. We retain families. With that, I ask my colleagues to approve 37-59 Hamilton Avenue rezoning at land use items 45 and 46. I approve this 100%, and I want to thank Mega, Deidre Carson, Michael Zoltan, and Lauren George, and my staff. Thank you so much, Chair.
Do any council members have any questions at this time? All right. I will now call for a vote to approve LUs 45 and 46 relating to the 37-59 Hamilton Avenue rezoning proposal. LU 49 related to the application for a sidewalk cafe by Sabrosura, and LUs 50 related to the application for sidewalk cafe by Secetti. Council, please call the roll.
Chair Lewis,
Aye on all. Congratulations.
Farias,
Permission to explain my vote?
You may.
Thank you, Chair Lewis and members of the subcommittee. Today, we actually have the privilege of voting to approve the sidewalk application for Sabrosura on Castle Hill. My office worked closely, as I mentioned, with key local stakeholders, including our community board, the 43rd Precinct, FDNY, and the BID, to make sure there was full coordination and clarity across agencies in the business community. Through this process, we were able to confirm that the proposal met the necessary standards and did not raise any operational or safety concerns, allowing us to move forward with confidence. In District 18, the Sidewalk Cafe program has to work for everyone. It must be functional, fair, and effective, supporting small businesses while also respecting the needs of residents, pedestrians, and the partners who help maintain and activate our commercial corridors. So I want to thank the applicant, Alejandro Wang, for working with my office to make sure that this moves smoothly. He was responsive throughout the entire process, and that kind of cooperation is what makes a major difference in getting these applications done the correct way. I'm confident this application is ready to move forward, and as you know already, we all love Sabrosura. So I wish you continued success in District 18, and I urge my colleagues to vote yes for this sidewalk application.
Councilmember Schulman,
Aye and all.
Councilmember Salam,
I vote aye on all.
Councilmember Felder. Aye. Councilmember Encarnacion.
Aye and all.
Thank you. Councilmember Sanchez.
Permission to explain my vote.
You may begin.
Maybe this time. Okay. I just want to take a moment of personal privilege. As someone from the Bronx, growing up going to Sabrosura, I have so many great memories going there with my dad, with my uncles, and I'm so excited to continue going back to visit Councilmember Farias' district right next door to mine, and continuing to make even more memories now with this outdoor cafe. So I proudly vote aye on all.
Councilmember Thomas Henry.
Aye on all.
By a vote of 8 in affirmative, none in opposition, and no abstentions. Thank you. These 3 applications are approved without modification and referred to the Land Use Committee.
Thank you. We will now resume the public hearings, and I will open the third. Stand at ease. I will now open the fifth and final public hearing. Stand at ease. I will now open the third final public hearing on pre-considered LUs regarding the 46 Nelson Street mixed-use rezoning proposal in Red Hook, Brooklyn, in Councilmember Avilas's district. The proposal involves a zoning map and a zoning text amendment. Application is seeking to build a mixed-use residential building with approximately 108 apartments. Mandatory inclusionary housing would be mapped as part of this application, so approximately 27 of the apartments would be permanently affordable, depending on the affordability option selected. For anyone wishing to testify regarding the proposal remotely, if you have not already done so, you must register online by visiting the council's website at council.nyc.gov/land use. For anyone here in person, please see one of the sergeant at arms to submit a speaker card. If you would prefer to submit written testimony, you can always do so by emailing it to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. I will now recognize Councilmember Avilas for remarks.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. I am Councilmember Alexa Aviles, proudly representing District 38, which encompasses a project area for 46 Nelson Street rezoning application. This application is requesting, as you've heard the Chair note, a zoning map amendment to rezone the project area from an M11 district to an M12A/R7A and R6A parentheses, MX5 mixed-use district, as well as a text amendment to map MIH. These actions would facilitate the development of a 7-story mixed-use residential and commercial building. This project can bring much-needed housing and commercial space to the Red Hook neighborhood. As we have discussed, Red Hook lacks many basic amenities, among them affordable commercial space and commercial retail space in general for neighborhood needs like laundromats and pharmacies and spaces for community services. This project would provide an opportunity to meet some of that. And I look forward to discussing this more with you today, as well as hearing more from the applicant team. So thank you to my colleagues on the subcommittee and the members of the public, if any have come out today, but certainly we have engaged members from the community on the project as well. So thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember. I will now call the applicant panel for this proposal, which consists of Ariel Akkad, Victor Folletti, and Kevin Williams, and Fayan Bitan. Council, please administer the affirmation.
Good morning. Could you please all raise your right hand and state your name for the record?
Fan Baton.
Victor Folletti. Kevin Williams.
Ariel Akkad.
Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in your testimony this morning in response to council member questions?
Yes, I do.
I do.
Yes.
Thank you.
You may now begin your testimony, which is 8 minutes, and I will just ask you all to please restate your name and organization for the record. You may begin.
Good morning, Chair, members of the subcommittee, Councilmember Aviles. We're here today. I'm Fan Baton from Sheldon Lobel PC. We're here today to discuss the 46 Nelson Street rezoning. Is it possible to get on the screen? All right. Next slide, please. I don't want to see that. So just to go back a little bit about the project. So the applicant is seeking the following land use actions. As mentioned before, a zoning map amendments to change an existing M11 zoning district to an M12A R7A mixed zoning district and an M12A R6A mixed zoning district. And we're also seeking a text amendment for Appendix F to map MIH options, thank you, MIH options 1 and 2 coterminous with the project area. Next slide, please. This is just a brief description of the proposal. We're looking at a 8-story plus cellar building, approximately 5.01 FAR, which is 100,000 square feet of mixed residential, commercial uses, and community facility uses. The building height is 85 feet, providing 36 parking spaces, including 6 EV spaces, which was important to the community board. The building will provide approximately 104 dwelling units, including a mix of studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms. And throughout the process, we've modified the unit mix to provide more family-sized units. And we'll be providing approximately 26 affordable units pursuant to MIH Option 1. Next slide, please. Here we have a zoning map showing the site. It's currently located within the M11 zoning district. The M11 district has remained since 1961 and has not produced much development due to the fact that it has a low FAR and a high parking requirement. So next slide, please. So as you can see here, we're proposing the MX district with the M12A, R7A zoning district along Hicks and Nelson, and then the R6A zoning district mid-block along Nelson Street. Next slide, please. Okay, here we see the area map, and this tells the story well. As you can see, our block is a little unique with a mixture of both manufacturing, industrial, and residential uses, non-conforming residential uses. So the proposed MX district would actually bring these uses into compliance and still allow existing manufacturing businesses to continue in operation. So as I mentioned, we have the R7A along Hicks and Nelson, and then we have the R6A on mid-block. Next slide, please. Here's a zoning change map, and then we could page through some of the photographs. You could just go through some of those slides, please. Thank you. Just see photographs of the site. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide. We could go to the plans. Okay, and actually the rendering on the next slide, please. So after meetings and especially with the council member regarding some feedback on the urban design, we tried to set back the building a little bit more to be less imposing and more contextual in the area. To accommodate the slimmer profile, we redistributed some of the bulk on the upper floors and added 1 story, but that is set back. However, it actually increased our unit count, which would also mean additional affordable units. And we could just page through the plans, please. Here we have a ground floor rendering, and then some zoning calculations. As you could see here, we now set back more on the 6th, 7th floors, and then an 8th floor is set back even farther. We could just go through the floor plans. The cellar has the parking and the mechanical units, and then we have, can we go back to the first floor, please? We have commercial uses, community facility uses, and the residential lobby, including, after we spoke with the community board, a proposed local artist gallery in the residential lobby. We also have the ramp to the parking. And then typical floor plans, residential units above, once again showing the setback on the 6th and 7th floors and the setback further on the 8th floor. And then we could just end on 2 more, please. This just shows the floodplain, the flood elevations, and here we go. And the applicant team here is here to answer questions.
Thank you. I have a few questions about the proposal. First question, the proposed development would be located at the end of a block that consists primarily of warehouses and manufacturing uses along Huntington Street. I see that the proposed mixed-use district would retain an M1 designation. Do you plan on including light manufacturing space as part of this development?
So currently, we still haven't found a tenant for the ground floor yet. We're looking actually at commercial and community facility. This block is actually located right across from a school. So we're trying to look at uses that won't impact the school as much, but the ownership is still open to looking at tenants.
Thank you for that response. As mentioned, this development site is along a manufacturing block. So what measures are you proposing to ensure pedestrian safety, especially for the school?
Sorry.
I can address that. Kevin Williams, the GZA, Geoenvironmental. We prepared an environmental assessment statement for the project. So anytime a project is redeveloped and the zone changed, you have to do a builder's pavement plan. So the one thing you can see from the photos, the street is actually heavily tree lined. So the sidewalks would have to be improved. The adjacent roadway, including crosswalks, thermoplastic striping, or highly visible crosswalks, would have to be enhanced. The entire roadbed that fronts the rezoning area and redevelopment would have to be done. So you're going to get substantially improved sidewalk, replanted street trees where necessary, and enhanced crosswalks adjacent to the site.
Thank you. And this proposed development is also just a block away from the highway. What design features are you including to ensure the residents of this proposed building have clean indoor air and are not affected by the noise of the traffic neighboring manufacturing uses provide?
Victor Folletti, project architect. So we would be using soundproof windows in excess of what is required by code. All of the mechanical equipment will be sound blocked. It'll have special air intake to allow fresh air from outside with deflecting the sound that would be brought in from the highway. Again, above and beyond what's required by code.
Thank you. I will now recognize Councilmember Aviles for questions.
Great, thank you so much. I know we've talked about this. One thing in particular that is important is, the commercial space, and particularly it being both appropriate for the area and what is filling a need. So I was curious if you could talk to us about what methods you will use to make sure to tenant the commercial space is filled with a needed and appropriate usage, and would you commit to ongoing community engagement to make sure that we find the best tenants?
Of course, we will commit to working with your office and finding tenants. We also had reviewed, after conversations with your office, we also reviewed some of the district needs, especially regarding Red Hook in general, and for the need for local retail, maybe healthy food stores or affordable food stores. I know you mentioned the laundromat, also community facility use as an affordable urgent care as well. And I could just Ariel, the applicant has started to reach out to some brokers to understand some of the commercial tenants, especially in this space.
Yes.
Yeah. And we could continue working with your office on that.
Yes. So I worked with a few of our local brokers. We also we're a landlord in the area other than this building, so we care about who goes into the space. They didn't give me any direct, immediate interest on who's immediately interested, but they did say that something supplemental to the school would help. Would probably work there. In addition to affordable grocery type of store or urgent care.
Great. We certainly look forward to ongoing conversations.
Absolutely.
About it, as community space in general actually is quite in high demand. Affordable community space where there can be community meetings, because there is actually very little of that in the community, and we have a lot of great nonprofits. So we'll continue to have that conversation. Thank
Absolutely.
you. In terms of yeah, I guess I was curious about if you wouldn't mind describing the rationale in proposing to rezone the area to mixed-use district without proposing any manufacturing or industrial use on the site itself.
So the building, the lot is currently improved with industrial. I know it's a large warehouse, minimum employment opportunities, and I know as the applicant just mentioned, he has other sites within the district as well that may be able to accommodate these uses. We just thought that due to the mixed use nature of the site and having the Red Hook houses also to the south and residential on the block, that we would provide a mixed use zoning district that would provide flexibility in the types of uses, especially not just our site, but the other sites within the rezoning area. Well, we're open to looking for light manufacturing uses as well. We're still looking at tenants.
Thank
that can
you.
work with your
I mean,
office.
I also wanted to respond to an earlier comment around the sidewalks. I mean, this street is very narrow in width. I'm not sure, and Nelson Street itself is actually quite narrow for being an industrial block. Although, as you pointed out, a significant portion of the block is in fact residential. How are you suggesting, besides like better cement, what other treatment are you suggesting there? I just feel like you're very constrained with what you can do.
We are constrained. Is that working? Yeah, it is constrained. So it's basically state of good repair. So the width is not going to change. Unfortunately, there's not really enough width for like rain gardens. But as you can see, that is heavily tree lined, so which is one thing is there are currently catch basins, there's currently that barrier, sort of visual barrier, but between the street activity and the building, but basically the builder's payment plan just requires you to improve and maintain or to replace disrupted sidewalk or, whenever you do a new building or a change in use. And probably the narrowness of the roadway is probably a blessing here, given the transition to residential. Wider streets, faster speeds, turning lanes that would accommodate larger trucks and vehicles. So, I think that transition might be better because it keeps the speed slower on the width, but it basically is a state of good repair enhancement.
No further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Do any members of the committee have questions? Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify remotely or in person regarding this proposal?
No.
Oh, this panel is now excused. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If there are any members of the public who wish to testify regarding this proposal remotely, please press the raise hand button now, or if you are in person, please identify yourself to one of the sergeant at arms. This is the last call. Being there are no members of the public who wish to testify regarding LUs numbers 38, 39, and 40 relating to the 20 Berry Street Industrial Rezoning Proposal, the public hearing is now closed and the items are laid over. I now open the fourth public hearing on pre-considered LUs regarding the 9201 4th Avenue mixed-use rezoning proposal in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, in Councilmember Santos Soto's district. The proposal involves a zoning map and zoning text amendment. The applicant is seeking to build a mixed-use residential building with approximately 96 apartments. Mandatory inclusionary housing would be mapped as part of this application, so approximately 24 of the apartments will be permanently affordable, depending on the affordability option selected. For anyone wishing to testify regarding this proposal remotely, if you have not already done so, you must register online by visiting the council's website at council.nyc.gov/land use. For anyone with us in person, please see one of the sergeant at arms to submit a speaker card. If you would prefer to submit written testimony, you can always do so by emailing it to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. I will now We have Councilmember Santos Sosa with us online, and we will read her statement on her behalf. Thank you, Chair, and good morning, everyone. I am Councilmember Kayla Santos Soso, and I am here today to discuss the 9201 4th Avenue rezoning application. The proposed project would produce an 11-story mixed-use building providing 96 residential units, of which 24 would be provided at affordable rates through the mandatory inclusionary housing program. This proposal can provide much-needed housing to Bay Ridge, including units at affordable rates, while also providing public benefits such as commercial space, replacing an empty, blighted structure with life and activity. While I'm supportive of this proposal and bringing more housing to this part of Bay Ridge going forward, the area really needs a comprehensive community-led plan. By stepping back and looking at the bigger picture, we can shape the future of this neighborhood intentionally and ensure that new development is paired with public investments rather than allowing individual applications to determine our future. I look forward to hearing more today from the applicants, my colleagues, and my constituents as we advance the public process to ensure outcomes that meet the needs of my constituents. Thank you to all for being here today and participating in the public process. I will now call the applicant panel for this proposal, which consists of, he's not here, Amanda, George, and Kevin. I don't want to mess up anybody's last name. Council, please administer the affirmation.
Could you please raise your right hand and state your name for the record, your full name?
Amanda Iannotti.
Kevin Williams.
George Fontaine.
Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in your testimony this morning and in response to council member questions?
I do.
I do.
I do.
Thank you.
You may now begin your testimony, which is limited to 8 minutes. I will ask that you please restate your full name and organization for the record. You may begin.
Amanda Iannotti on behalf of Sheldon Lobel PC. Good morning, Chair Lewis, members of the subcommittee. We're here today to present the 9201 4th Avenue rezoning application. Next slide, please. Here's the project summary. We propose 2 actions. First, a zoning map amendment to rezone Brooklyn Block 6108, Lot 22, from a C82 zoning district to a C44D zoning district. The proposed zoning map amendment will facilitate the construction of a new 11-story plus cellar and subcellar mixed-use commercial and residential building with a total floor area of approximately 129,000 square feet. That's a 7.2 FAR and approximately 97 dwelling units. The second action we are seeking is a zoning text amendment to amend zoning resolution appendix F to designate a mandatory inclusionary housing area coterminous with the project area with options 1 and 2. The proposed zoning text amendment will facilitate the development of approximately 24 affordable housing units pursuant to MIH option 1. Next slide, please. Here's a snapshot of the proposed building at 9201 4th Avenue. It's 11 stories plus cellar and subcellar, mixed use, a total floor area of approximately 129,222 square feet, 7.2 FAR. There's approximately 18,500 square feet of ground floor and mezzanine commercial use, as well as approximately 110,000 square feet of residential use above. There's a base height of 8 stories and 86 feet, multiple setbacks along all 3 street frontages, 10-foot setback at the 8th and 10th floors along 4th Avenue, 10-foot setback at the 6th, 7th, and 8th floors along 5th Avenue, and a 15-foot setback at the 8th floor along 92nd Street. The total height is 130 feet. We're proposing 52 parking spots in the cellar and subcellar. They are voluntary. The existing building will be demolished, but the cellar and subcellar will be maintained and parking will be in those levels. The total number of units is approximately 97 with generously sized family units, no studios, 19 one-bedrooms, 62 two-bedrooms, and 16 three-bedrooms. Approximately 24 affordable units pursuant to MIH option 1. Next slide, please. The zoning map shows the site within the existing C82 zoning district, which does not permit residential use and primarily caters to auto-related uses. It's also within the special Bay Ridge zoning district. Next slide, please. The tax map shows the project area and development site. It's an approximately 18,000 square foot trapezoidal lot bounded by 92nd Street to the north, a 60-foot narrow street, 5th Avenue to the east, a 75-foot wide street, and 4th Avenue to the west, a 100-foot wide street. Next slide, please. The next slide is the land use map, which really shows the rationale for the rezoning to the proposed C4 zoning district and the appropriateness of increased residential and commercial density here. The site has 3 street frontages, as noted from the tax map, 2 of them wide streets. It's an existing mixed-use community with commercial corridors on 4th and 5th Avenues and adjacent existing R7A, R6A, and R6B zoning districts. It's close to transit with the Bay Ridge 59th Street subway station located on the subject block and access to the R subway line, which runs along 4th Avenue. Next slide, please. The next couple of slides show photos of the existing building. It's an existing 7-story building. Next slide. It is a vacant and deteriorating building. The new mixed-use building with ground floor commercial use will help to activate the streetscape and reinforce the commercial character of 4th and 5th Avenues. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Here we have the plans, and I'll introduce project architect George Fontaine to go through the design.
Thank you, George Fontaine, Fontaine Architecture. We can just flip through the slides pretty quickly to the renderings. Amanda covered most of the details, but it's an 11-story building, 97 units with 24 affordable. You can keep going. There's 3D renderings towards the end. On the ground floor, we have a commercial with a mezzanine. We have a floor of amenity space and apartments. As Amanda said, 19 one-bedrooms, 62 two-bedrooms, 16 three-bedrooms with 24 affordable units. Keep going. And just flip through to the 3D renderings at the end. Keep going. And I just want to point out when we get to the one more. There we go. So we added additional setbacks beyond what is required by zoning. So the building is set in, the base height matches the height of the existing building so that the building is less intrusive on the site, and it has three side frontage on the street and 2 corners, so the building doesn't have to be as massive as otherwise might have been necessary. So the goal was to make a building that fit in with the community, and the community board was very supportive of this project.
Yes, so on January 20th, Brooklyn Community Board 10 voted to approve the application, 24-2. On February 24th, the Brooklyn Borough President also issued a recommendation to approve the application. And most recently, on April 1st, the City Planning Commission also voted to approve the application. In conclusion, this proposed rezoning would allow for additional residential development in close proximity to transit within an existing mixed-use community and will bring much-needed residential development, including affordable housing, to Brooklyn Community District 10, which has produced only 8 affordable housing units and approximately 500 market-rate units during 2014 to 2024. That concludes our presentation. We're happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a couple of questions about this proposal. Would the proposed zoning allow you to build a taller building than you are proposing? And if yes, can you describe why you selected this zoning district?
Yes. So the building could be taller by 1 or 2 stories. We do not need to go taller because we have 3 frontages. So we have plenty of walls for window to get light and air into the building. So typically on a tall building, you get more windows by going up. Right. Because we have 2 corners, it's just not necessary architecturally, and going taller is actually much more expensive construction.
Thank you. What types of commercial tenants are envisioned for the proposed commercial space, and have any discussions begun with prospective tenants?
So the applicant is looking into that currently. There's interest to have a food store, but there's no specific tenant in mind. He's also open to, if there's not a single tenant identified, breaking it up into smaller retail if possible, but the applicant is still exploring that.
Perfect. I have some questions by Councilmember Santos Suso. The first question, even though you are not proposing building to the maximum height allowed under a C4-4D zoning district, can you confirm that the proposal maximizes the available FAR?
It does.
Okay. Can you commit today, as well as provide in writing, to construct the building as proposed at 11 stories tall? And she's actually online. It's just because we don't have quorum that you don't hear from her. But can you commit today?
Yes, the applicant, I believe, can commit to that. We will discuss with him after this hearing and confirm in writing to the council member.
Okay. Being this is a significant demolition, what plans are in place and how can you ensure the demolition will be safe and not destructive to her neighbors?
So it's not going to be a full demolition. We're going to maintain the foundation, which greatly decreases the amount of shoring needed at the street. So the structure above the foundation that will be demolished will be taken down methodically by hand. It will be like a slow demolition process, but keeping the foundation makes it a much safer demolition process.
All right. As mentioned in my opening statement, I'm interested in pursuing a broader planning study and community-led vision for the surrounding C8 Triangle area. As a local property owner and developer, would you be interested in supporting and engaging in this process if it moves forward?
We will confirm with the applicant and after this hearing and confirm back to the council member, but he is a local developer. He lives in the community and he too shares the same visions.
Okay. Lastly, can you speak more about the unit mix noticed? She noticed a large number of 2s and 3 bedrooms. Can you talk more about the unit mix?
Yeah, the property owner specifically said he wanted to focus on family-sized units, that was appropriate for this site. So we favored larger units. In fact, we have apartments up to 1,200 square feet for the 3 bedrooms. And that was just the direction provided by the developer for the project.
And what's the square feet for the 3 bedrooms?
The 3 bedrooms are between 1,000 and 1,200, and then the 2 bedrooms are.
You said it's 1,200?
1,200. Yeah, they're not all the same size. So between 1,000 and 1,200 for the 3 bedrooms.
And what about the 1 bedrooms?
The 1 bedrooms are like 600 to 800, and the 2s are 8 to 1,000. Roughly.
Got it. All right, I think that's all the questions for the council member. Do any of my colleagues have questions for this panel? Seeing none, this panel is now excused. Thank you for being here today. Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify remotely or in person regarding this proposal?
Yes, Chair. So we have Councilmember Santos Suso online. Councilmember, if you wish to make a statement, you can do so now. And we also have one person signed up online.
Council member, you may begin.
Thank you, Chair, and my apologies that I can't be there in person today. I'm currently holding a 2-week-old newborn.
Council member, is there any way you can increase your volume?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you, Chair, and thank you for the representatives of the project for appearing today. My apologies that I can't be there in person. I'm holding a 2-week-old newborn who you may hear from in the background, but I just wanted to make sure I was able to state that I'm grateful that the developer has engaged my office in the process of this proposal. This is in fact my old block that I used to own a business on and that I used to live on. And so I personally experienced kind of the blight of the existing building post-COVID, which was an entirely commercial building that no longer had a use when things were shut down. And so I'm happy to see a rejuvenated proposal that will bring more foot traffic and much needed affordable housing to our district. And I'm particularly grateful that the developer agrees that we need more 2 bedrooms and family sized units in Bay Ridge. And we do not need many more studios and 1 bedrooms. So I look forward to continuing to work with the developer. I appreciate the time that they've given me thus far and engaging. And I just want to underscore what I wrote in my written remarks, which is that we really do need a larger community driven plan for this area to make sure that we're getting public investments and that new development makes sense and gets us what we need for people to enjoy the area, as opposed to just one-off projects kind of determining our future. So look forward to pursuing that together in the future. Thank you again, Chair. Thank you to the representatives of the project. I look forward to engaging further.
We're now going to turn to members of the public who wish to testify remotely or in person regarding this proposal. For members of the public who wish to testify, please note that witnesses will generally be called in panels of 3. If you are a member of the public signed up to testify, please stand by when you hear your name being called. Prepare to speak when I indicate that you may begin. Please also note that once all panelists in your group have completed their testimony, if remotely, you will be removed from the meeting as a group, and the next group of speakers will be introduced. Once removed, participants may continue to view the live stream broadcast of this hearing on the council website. Members of the public will be given 2 minutes to speak. Please do not begin until the Sergeant at Arms has started the clock. The following individuals who signed up to testify should unmute. We're going to hear now from Charles Weinstock.
Starting time.
My name is Charles Weinstock. I'm an attorney and I represent a community group.
Charles,
yes.
can you increase your volume for us, please?
How's that?
Perfect.
Okay. I'll start over if I may. My name is Charles Weinstock. I'm an attorney and I represent a community group called Voices of Bay Ridge. The group consists of residents and business owners near the site, and I'm here to state their strong opposition to one element of the owner's plan. I should start by saying what the group doesn't oppose. Doesn't oppose the conversion of the site from C8 to C44D, nor does it oppose redrawing the MIH map. What it opposes is the owner's apparent current plan to put a national grocery store on the first floor of the building. The neighborhood is littered now with grocery stores, 6 in the immediate vicinity, and there are plans to bring on 2 more and perhaps 3. One is the proposed Century Marketplace at 86th Street, also between 4th and 5th. The other is the proposed Super Fresh, again between 4th and 5th at 87th Street. In addition, members of our group informed me that there may be plans to build yet another on the Staples site, which is only 1 block away from the site here. To my knowledge, there's been no market need analysis, nor a study of the cumulative impacts of adding 3 or 4 new supermarkets to the neighborhood. To separately consider these plans would be to miss the real threat to the community. To borrow a term from SECRA, it's segmentation. Such a concentration of large-scale grocery stores promises oversaturation, increased truck traffic, curbside loading, the frequent coming and going of customers, made worse by the reduced accessory parking of C44D. The plan would further apply pressure on existing small businesses, which contribute importantly to Bay Ridge's neighborhood character. And as Local 338's strong opposition makes clear, the plan threatens workers at existing markets. The traffic issue is particularly significant because the site is on 92nd Street, a main access point to the Verrazano.
Your time has expired.
Thank you so much, Charles.
I haven't been able to get to my actual proposal.
You can always email that at landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov.
Okay.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you. If there are any members of the public who wish to testify regarding this proposal remotely, please press the raise hand button now. Or if you are in person, please identify yourself to one of the sergeant at arms and we will wait 30 seconds. Being there are no members of the public who wish to testify regarding pre-considered LUs relating to 9201 4th Avenue mixed-use rezoning proposal, the public hearing is now closed and items are now laid over. I will now open the fifth public hearing on pre-considered LUs regarding the St. Francis Prep request for a commercial overlay. The school is located in Fresh Meadows, Queens, and Councilmember Lee's district. St. Francis Prep seeks to map a C1-2 commercial overlay to legalize an existing illuminated sign at the entrance of the school. For anyone wishing to testify regarding this proposal remotely, if you have not already done so, you must register online by visiting the council's website at council.nyc.gov/land use. For anyone with us in person, please see one of the sergeant at arms to submit a speaker card. If you would prefer to submit written testimony, you can always do so by emailing it to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. Councilmember Lee is not here, so we will move forward. I will now call the applicant panel for this proposal, which consists of Lisa Schaefer and Sal Fischetti.
These are members of the applicant team that are providing testimony and support.
Oh, Leah Vallone?
Yes.
Okay. And Stephen Sinacor. Got it. Council, please administer the affirmation.
Good morning. Could you please raise your right hand and state your name for the record?
Leah Vallone.
Stephen Sinacori.
Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in your testimony today in response to council member questions?
Yes.
Thank you.
You may now begin your testimony, which is limited to 8 minutes. I will ask you just to please restate your full name and your organization for the record. You may begin.
Sure. Good morning, Chair Lewis and members of the subcommittee. I'm Leah Vallone with Ackerman on behalf of the applicant here, St. Francis Preparatory, which I will refer to as SFP throughout this. And I'm also joined by my colleague, Stephen Sinacori. SFP is seeking a zoning map amendment. Next slide, please. SFP is the largest private Catholic secondary school in the United States with approximately 2,500 students. The rest of the slide here lists its registrations and achievements. Next slide, please. This is the aerial view of the site, which it shows located in Fresh Meadows. And the only thing nearby is Blue Bay Diner, which a lot of students use to eat. And please note that there's no residential housing near the school. Next slide, please. The sign in question here is double-sided and non-flashing. Students walk past the sign to enter the school, and those who are dropped off are usually dropped off on this road, right, depicted in the picture on the right. Next slide, please. This is the zoning change map. It shows the zoning change to a C12 overlay added to the existing existing zoning district. These C12 overlays are overlays mapped in residential districts to serve local needs. And as stated before, the overlay would cover an area that's been occupied by non-residential uses for over 60 years. This is a historically non-residential site. According to the Department of Building Records, the school building was constructed in the early 1960s, and the site has continuously housed Catholic high schools. Next slide, please. We also want to emphasize that there is a C12 overlay that already exists on Francis Lewis Boulevard immediately north to the project area. And the proposed development is that there is no construction of a building or other structure proposed with this action. The proposed action will legalize an existing illuminated, non-flashing double accessory sign, which is currently not allowed in R4 districts. And to be clear, accessory signs in R4 districts are allowed, but not for educational facilities. The existing signage is situated along Francis Lewis Boulevard within a corner lot portion of the rezoning area. And just to reiterate the point that there will be no construction of the building, this community facility building at 4 stories already has a maximum floor area ratio of about 2.0, which is what is permitted under the existing R4 zoning. Next slide, please. This just shows the existing signage, which is located within the property line and on the corner. In C12 districts, they are permitted with certain regulations. So this just shows that the existing signage is within the current regulations that are allowed with the C12 overlay. Next slide, please. And these are just some pictures of the illuminated sign. And the picture on the right is a real photo which shows what it currently looks like. Next slide, please. So Community Board 8 recommended approval on January 7th. Next slide, please. And the Queensborough hearing president was on January 29th, and the approval recommendation was issued February 3rd. Next slide, please. So just to recap, the sign is a necessary and modern tool that allows SFP to communicate information to the students, parents in the community. I'm actually an SFP alumni, and while I was a student previous to the sign installation, my brother, Charles Vallone, who's a recent graduate and I believe testifying today, has informed me how useful and beneficial the sign is to the vast student body. We've also heard from members of the surrounding community. And the only reason we're before you today is because SFP has received a Department of Buildings violation for the sign installation, where it became aware of this oversight by a hired architect. SFP is here trying to correct this so that they don't have to remove something that has become a pillar of the school and community. Thank you. That concludes our presentation. And we're happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. I just have a couple of questions for you regarding this request. How long did you say the sign has been there for?
So it was installed in 2022, shortly after they received the DOB violation.
Okay, what prompted this application?
The DOB violation, which informed the school that they were in non-compliance with the zoning.
Got it. This panel's not excused. Thank you for being here. I now invite my colleagues to ask questions. Councilmember Thomas Henry.
No, I was just going to give a comment. As a Queens girl, I didn't go to prep, but I went to Christ the King, and I can attest that St. Francis Prep has been a staple for education in the Queens community.
Popular school, Councilmember. That was a popular school, Christ the King. Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify remotely or in person regarding this proposal?
Yes, yes, Chair. There is one member of the public who has signed up online.
That's Charles Bull. For members of the public here to testify, please note that witnesses will generally be called in panels of 3. If you are a member of the public signed up to testify, please stand by when you hear your name being called and prepare to speak when I indicate that you may begin. Please also note that once all panelists in your group have completed their testimony, if remotely, you will be removed from the meeting as a group and the next group of speakers will be introduced. Once removed, participants may continue to view the live stream broadcast of this hearing on the council website. Members of the public will be given 2 minutes to speak. Please do not begin until the Sergeant at Arms has started the clock. The following individuals who signed up to testify should now come to the witness table, and we now call on Charles Vallone, who is online.
Starting time.
Hey, Charles, you may begin.
Awesome. My name is Charles Vallone. I'm a graduate of SFP of the class of 2025, and I was sitting student body president during my senior year. My most important title at the moment, however, is Leah's younger brother. So Leah, you're doing great. I personally have plenty of experience with the sign outside of prep. First off, it's an incredible way not only to inform the families of prep of the daily events that they or their children can partake in, but also informs the community. The prep has always done a great job of keeping the community involved in everything they do when it comes to holiday events, large sporting events, or even outreach programs to nearby businesses or schools. They never forget who surrounds them, truly. As a student, it reminds you of the time when you're running to school. You could be a little late, and it is incredibly important, let me tell you. Uh, Most importantly, I've been at the prep after dark for soccer practice or one of my other duties or activities at the school a countless number of times, before the sign went up and after. The sign illuminates the bus stops and surrounding walkway, which makes them feel infinitely safer and secure. There is not much lighting in that specific area, or any for that matter, so this sign has completely changed the confidence of anyone, student or not, which may have been waiting for the bus stop or a parent to come pick them up. And safety is what it's all about, after all. So thank you guys for your time. Just wanted to add that.
Thank you, Charles. If there are any members of the public who wish to testify regarding this proposal remotely, please press the raise hand button now. And if you are in person, please identify yourself to one of the sergeant at arms. This is the last call. Being there are no members of the public who wish to testify regarding the pre-considered LU relating to the St. Francis Prep commercial overlay proposal, the public hearing is now closed and items are now laid over. That concludes today's business. I would like to thank the members of the public, my colleagues, subcommittee council, land use, and council staff, and the sergeant at arms for participating in today's meeting. This meeting is hereby adjourned.